Hello everybody, it's Peter. It's Sunday the 5th of November, which we are supposed to remember for some reason, but I can remember other dates as well. I've just come out of this wood into a little green, a clearing I think you might call it. Used to be a program on the telly called Cabin in the Clearing. I don't know what that was about. There are no cabins in this clearing, but it is a cricket ground, and I'm in Amersham. Or am I? This is the home cricket ground of Cheshire Boys. Now, it always grates a bit when I hear the word Cheshire Boys, because it's B-O-I-S-W, B-O-I-S, which in French is pronounced bois. So I think it should be Cheshire Bois, but I'm in a minority of one. The last time I was here, there was a lot of cricket going on. Now it's the 5th of November, so not so much. But it was very exciting, the cricket. I think I was here in August. Lots of sixes being hit. But the main reason I'm here is that there are lots of strange commemorations around the ground. Here is the first one, attached to various trees. And it says, English oak, planted in commemoration of the Golden Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II, 6th of February 2002. They're big on royalty, on the monarchy a bit, in Amersham / Cheshire Bois here. There are other trees with other commemorations, so let's see what we can find. This looks like one, and it says British oak, planted in commemoration of the 25th year of the reign of H.M. King George V, 6th of May 1935. Isn't that fantastic? Obviously this tree is a lot bigger than the one celebrating the Jubilee of our late Queen Elizabeth II. Actually it says the type of tree it is, British oak. Now, those of you who watch more than one of my videos will remember that I was over in Croxley Green, and there was another commemoration to George V's Silver Jubilee there, set into the ground rather than, well, that one's set into the ground. I imagine once upon a time it was probably pinned to the tree. Okay, so we've got two monarchs already. This is quite interesting. Let's see what else we can discover. I'm sure not every tree has a commemoration plaque, but the bigger the tree, the further back in time the commemoration would be, I think. So that one really ought to be Queen Victoria, but no commemoration. Poor old tree, bit unmentioned. But here's one coming up. Now the reason I'm here in November is that it's autumn, obviously, and when I came here in August and saw a bit of cricket, of course all the trees were in full bloom, full leaf, and you couldn't see the plaques, but you can today. This says British oak, planted in commemoration of the 25th year of the reign of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, 6th of February 1977. So another Silver Jubilee, and that is a very straight up tree, a very tall one. Maybe some of you remember the Silver Jubilee of 1977. It was we didn't know it at the time, but it was to be the first of quite a few jubilees. The silver one in 77, the golden one in 2002, the platinum one in 2012, etc. Now here's our third tree with a commemoration, and here it is. English oak, planted in commemoration of the centenary of the parish council, 12th November 1994. good to see the parish council decided they'd had enough of commemorating monarchs, and they decided to commemorate themselves. Now, I think that's it for this side of the ground. There is a major one on the other side of the ground which we're heading for. But while we're walking there, I'll show you the square in the middle of the ground. Of course, it's left alone, fenced off. The reason why people the strange thing about Chesham Boys is it's on the same level as Amersham. So it's very easy to be confused, the fact that it is Amersham, not Old Town Amersham, but Amersham. But I stayed once on a holiday in Paris, and there's a place there, a campsite called the Bois de Boulogne. So I want to pronounce B-O-I-S as Bois, but again I'm in a minority of one. But there were 4 of us on a camping trip in one beat up old Hillman, and we celebrated our last night in Paris. We thought we'd visit the steps of the Sacré-Cœur. If you ever go to Paris, it's a great place because you can look over the whole city at night. It's not very big, Paris, it's surprising. And I think some red wine was consumed. We had a very mellow, celebratory end of holiday until we got back to the car. Then we discovered it had been broken into and cameras and passports had been stolen. So Dave, our nominated driver, we didn't have the internet then, drove us to the nearest gendarmerie. And this is the origin of this moss on the trees remark I make sometimes, because he used to say it in a Geordie accent because he was a Geordie, or perhaps he still is. He'd say, we'd say, where are you going, Dave? And he'd say, oh, look out for the moss on the trees, which we did. Don't know if that helped. Anyway, eventually we found a gendarmerie, which was distinguishable in those days by, I don't know if there was a blue lamp, but there was a gendarme standing outside. By this time it's about midnight. And we'd driven through Sacré-Cœur, which is a few miles away, and I was the nominated French speaker because my O-level was probably better than anybody else's, and so I couldn't remember the word for stolen. So I went up to the gendarme and I said, "Excusez-moi, monsieur, mon passeport et mon caméra est perdu," which is lost. And he shrugged, of course, because that's what Gaelic people do, they shrug a lot. And he said, you know, as if to say, who cares, you've lost your camera. And then I had to explain it in pidgin French that a man had come and taken the camera. And anyway, eventually he let us into the gendarmerie, and we filled out the details to the desk sergeant in French, and then eventually when we'd done all this, he said, "Oh, mais oui, monsieur, you are at the wrong gendarmerie. You have to report at the one near Sacré-Cœur." So that was a bit of a waste of time. The next morning we went to the right gendarmerie and went through this rigmarole again, reporting lost cameras, passports, etc. And all we got out of it really was some sort of crime number, which we then took to the British, it wasn't the embassy, there was some sort of British place to get a replacement passport so we could get back to the UK. But you know, it was an experience. I still don't know the word for stolen in French. I've never bothered to look it up. Hopefully I'll never need it again. This is our final commemoration tree, and it says English oak at the top there. It's badly obscured. But just say English oak, planted in commemoration I think that says, of the, please excuse my camera work, I'm trying to read and do the camera, in commemoration of the coronation of H.M. King George the Sixth, 12th of May 1937. I bet there's some of you watching who got there just before me. So we've had George V, Elizabeth II, and now good old George VI. This 1937, as I speak, is nearly 86 years ago, and this tree is doing very well, but it's got some ivy growing up it. Maybe nobody cares too much about it, but I think it's wonderful that various monarchs come and go, but their trees remain for people in the future to wander around, filming them and getting the trees on YouTube. I think that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. One final look at the cricket ground, and lots of people enjoying it, the open space. Like and subscribe. Peter the Rock, Sunday the 5th of November.